Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on, working. Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
It's the cheating scandal no one saw coming until 50,000 people did. At a sold-out Coldplay concert in Boston, a giant jumbotron zoomed in on what looked like a sweet, affectionate couple. They were smiling, leaning close, and clearly enjoying the music. But the moment they realized their faces were being broadcast to the entire stadium, something bizarre happened. They froze. Then, as if hit by lightning, they ducked down and tried to hide their faces. The crowd roared in confusion. Chris Martin, Coldplay's frontman, couldn't resist a cheeky comment. Either they're having an affair, or they're just really shy. It should have been just another lighthearted kiss cam moment, the kind you laugh about and move on from. But this was different. This one would set the internet on fire. Within hours, the clip exploded across TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, racking up millions of views. And then, the internet sleuths went to work. And yet, one question hung over the entire story. Why would two high-powered executives risk being seen like this in front of tens of thousands of people? To most of us, the logic seems absurd. If you're having an affair, wouldn't you hide it? Wouldn't you avoid giant screens, cameras, and public venues? Psychologists say the answer isn't so simple. In fact, some believe it might not be an accident at all. Nicole McNichols, professor of human sexuality at the University of Washington, wrote that public cheating can sometimes be a subconscious cry for exposure. When someone is feeling emotionally trapped or disconnected in their relationship, they may, unintentionally or not, put themselves in situations where they'll be seen. It's not about bragging. It's about creating a crisis that forces change. And then there's the question of emotional disconnection. Over time, some long-term relationships shift from intimacy to logistics. They become about paying bills, raising kids, managing careers, not nurturing connection. That can make people feel invisible. And when people feel invisible, they often start seeking validation somewhere else. Psychologist Danielle Haig calls it a form of self-sabotage. When guilt builds up, or when a relationship reaches a breaking point, some people will subconsciously push things to the edge. It's like playing chicken with your own life. You put yourself in a high-risk situation, not necessarily because you want to get caught, but because part of you knows that if you do, the pretending will finally end. For high-profile executives, the psychology can get even more complicated. When you're used to running companies, making big calls, and controlling narratives, you can start to feel untouchable. That inflated sense of invincibility can skew your perception of risk. Then there's the adrenaline factor. Cheating in public, one in full view, risk of thousands, is a massive gamble, but for some, that gamble is exactly the point. The secrecy, the danger, the possibility of getting away with it, it can deliver the same dopamine rush as extreme sports or high-stakes gambling. Here's the part that surprises people. Affairs aren't always about lust. In many cases, they're about being emotionally seen. Observers pointed out that Byron and Cabot didn't look like a random fling. Their body language suggested genuine emotional intimacy, laughing, leaning in close, hands touching. That wasn't just attraction, that was connection. And connection is addictive, especially when your main relationship feels cold or distant. Humans crave novelty and self-expansion, the sense of being alive, of feeling new again. In high-stress jobs like CEO or head of people, your personal life can fall into routine. That's when someone new, someone who gets you, can feel like a spark of rediscovered youth. For some people, breaking the rules is the point. The act itself, doing something forbidden, becomes intoxicating. It's not just about the relationship. It's about defying the rules you're supposed to live by. Public cheating amplifies that rush. It's the ultimate rebellion against the polished image of a perfect spouse, a responsible parent, a respectable leader. And here's where hubris creeps in. Some people genuinely believe they can get away with it. They think their charm, their position, or simply luck will protect them, until the jumbotron lights them up in front of 50,000 witnesses. Enter Grace Springer, a concert-goer who happened to catch the couple's bizarre reaction on her phone. She thought it was just a shy couple avoiding attention, but her friend saw something else. They were the talk of the concert. She told LADBIBL everyone was saying something weird was going on. Her friends convinced her to post it, and that's when everything changed. The clip exploded on TikTok. Millions watched. Internet detectives went to work. Within days, Byron's name, Cabot's name, and Astronomer were all trending. Grace herself admitted she probably wouldn't have posted the video if they'd acted normal, but they didn't. And that strange, almost panicked reaction, that was the spark that turned a private moment into a global scandal. At the end of the day, no one needs to feel sorry for this couple. Cheating is inherently unfair and damaging, but understanding why people cheat, especially in public, helps us understand human behavior. Affairs are often about unmet needs, emotional, personal, or even existential. They can be a cry for connection, a protest against routine, or a desperate bid to feel alive again. The Coldplay Kiss Cam scandal shows how, in the internet age, personal implosions can become viral entertainment overnight. For high-powered figures, the illusion of invincibility can be the very thing that brings them down. And for everyone else, it's a reminder that relationships, even good ones, require constant care, open communication, and vulnerability. Because when those fade away, people sometimes choose the most destructive way possible to be seen.